Hey guys, this is Sangeeta from my home office from Delhi, and I am addressing you from Delhi. And how many of you would like to know that you can be a smart professional in 90 days? And how many of you would not like to be a smart professional at any moment in your time? So, hi, I am Sangeeta and I am a leadership growth mentor. And people ask me, what do I do? So, I help working professionals to, to be more, to be highly productive and achieve peace of mind and have clarity and also enjoy their work so that they can be smart professionals and also find time for themselves. They have time freedom. So that is what I do. And at the end of this 90-minute session, you are going to learn all those three things as to how to be highly productive and how to be a smart professional, how to achieve peace of mind, and how to utilize your time for better productivity for yourself. You know, you need to invest time on yourself and do achieve and grow so that you will be a role model for others. While what role model? While you will be highly productive, you live a highly meaningful life. So from every day's work, every day, everybody is rushed kind of thing, right? So when do you get time to, you know, invest on yourself, to grow, to enjoy life while you are working? So let us work on that. So the next 90 minutes I'll be teaching you some value so that you can start thinking on those lines. Many of your problems will get resolved within this session, so that will be my gift for you, that package of solution. I'll give you a the first volume of the solution bundle, which are small chocolate bites which will be useful. Every day you can consume a bit of it. You can talk to me if you want, and sorry, and also get your solution ready by the end of 90 days. So for the first 21 days I'll be giving you for free the manual for how to act smart and everything, that I'll give you for free so that you can write your goals. You can, a framework will be developed according to your personality, and small solutions based on what is your pain point right now. There are many pain points for each of us through the entire life, but what are the pain points right now that you need to resolve, so that you can move ahead and do something else that somebody is saying. So that is what we will do. So the context is, now for 90 minutes you have to be here listening to me whatever I am saying, and take notes, and reserve your questions to the end so that the flow of whatever I am presenting is not broken. And why do you mind if I tell a bit about myself so that you will decide why you should learn from me, and so that you know more, so that you will be convinced that I am the right person from whom to learn. So thank you for the permission. I think all of you would be eager to know as to what I am going to tell you. So the first thing is, what is your story? that is, I saw that everybody's problem is a bit inside me. The first thing is, I have trained so far 18,000 people who had two skills at least they already have. They wanted to support some big mission and also wanted to be leveraged, whatever their strength points were. And they also they wanted to trust somebody, so that people will leverage their leader. So I became their leader and I leveraged their thing. And their energy needed to be channeled. They were meant for much more than what they were working for. So in a salaried space, if you realize, then you do a small bit of things, although you are overworked at workplace, but you always handle a bit of it. And people will make you do the same thing over and over and again, but you will not be exploring your potential, right? So that energy can be leveraged in something useful and then transform yourself. So I had been a bit of that. I had been facing a bit of all that during all my career. It is a 25 plus years of career, and I'll be serving you in the next 90 minutes. So let us start with whatever I have to say. So I have 10 strategies of collaboration with a miraculous mindset, and I call my method as resourceful influencing. Why resourceful? Because when you are resourceful, you actually see a lot of opportunities in terms of time and money and HR. So that is what you use, or others won't see those things. Others don't see those things which you see. So those are the three things. Everybody sees in a different manner. The same HR they will see in different manner, and the way you see will be your superpower as to how to utilize all those resources. So how it happened? It happened when I discovered mine. I had two distinct characteristics. One is that I was not satisfied. I loved my work, but I was complaining all the time that I was not the boss because the majority of work was done by me. But when I started taking lot many challenges, then I forgot about being the boss. My focus became how to achieve the vision that we have been set out for. It was a huge thing, huge projects, and something if we achieved, then those will be of respectable thing. And we were focused on the target that we were to achieve. The first thing was like enumerating 44 lakh women in Rajasthan in just 2 months. That required 12,000 trainers itself, volunteers itself. So managing those 12,000 in 2 months time, how to plan their accommodation, how to train them, how to organize them, all those things was taken care by a team of people of which I was a part of. I never thought of becoming the boss. I wanted only to be part of the team because it was a bigger vision that was being achieved as a team, and it was not to be achieved by a single person, right? So when you have that kind of challenging task, then you don't remember the grieving, the complaining, and the whatnot of everyday's workplace situation. So always you have to find out that thing. So that was my superpower. You can, each of us can find out that thing, the bigger goal, and you are motivated by that big goal only, right? So that was my first thing. And who this is for? This is for people who have been in the job for say 6 to 10 years, and they are feeling unfulfilled. And what you will take from here, the tangible things is, you can create like say 100 success stories of yours. Actually, if you have 6 to 7 years of experience, then actually you can create like say mathematically you can create 1 lakh plus stories. But let us create in 7 days of time 100 success stories that I call as competency stories, that will be created if you are come to. That is I will show how you can create. Then win over your boss in 3 days without bothering. So how you can do, I'll give that solution also to you. Munna टिके करना आवाज. Become a go-to person in 21 days. So as soon as you create your competency stories, right, as soon as you create your competency stories and you know how to handle your boss, you become a go-to person. That will take you 21 days of practice. Then design your leadership style so that people will be always critical about the style that you do, the way you behave. But you have to design your style so that you are not disturbed in the way you work, right? So that one you can take. Then be 100% productive in 24 hours, because you know every day, although you work for 8 plus hours, actually the actual work takes you less than 5 hours or so. So you can save those 4 hours. So that how to do that is a skill that you can take in 24 hours in a day. Monetize one skill in 30 days. Whatever skill you already have, that can be monetized, or you can be just associated with something, part of it, and monetize your skill in 30 days. It will take of course 30 days. Establish a tracker that triples your income within a year. So this tracker for each of you, it can be built, and you will be surprised to know that once you track your expenses and income, it triples within a year. I don't know how that happens, but each time you do, even if you start saving in a gullak, right? That was the old way of saving money. Ma tike corna na sound. Even if you start saving in a gullak, what happens is suddenly your habits change and you can start saving and start having a cash flow, and you'll be surprised by that. And then start living 4 days a week from next week. When I got this idea for the first time, you know, it was very difficult. Every day I need to work something. How can I restrict it to 4 days? So initially what we can do is, till we are in jobs or anywhere we are working, what we can do is distribute our work in such a manner that 4 days of work takes lot of hard work, and the rest of the 3 days what we can do is, we can do mostly spend time in what we love, right? So start small and then become an insightful person in 21 days. There is a process how to become this, so that one you will learn, and turn a global dream into a reality from next Sunday. So these, and how to manage your Excel. So many people don't know Excel. Many people might not be knowing PowerPoint, how to do PowerPoint. Even if you can open a PowerPoint and do it, but still you need to know how to do it. And so that is what. So where from I come from such a situation that, you know, industry data says that everybody, whoever has a complaint, actually he or she is looking for a job, alternative job. So while they are looking for a job, they operate at 20% of their productivity. So if you are a fresher, then you can get a job say within 3 to 6 months. That is okay. You go to another job and then go to another job, nobody minds. But eventually you will become a senior, right? So if you are a senior with 6 to 7 years of experience or more, then what happens is you will need 3 to 5 years to get an alternative solution. So during that 3 to 5 years you operate at 20%, and do you know what happens to your productivity if you are operating for 3 to 5 years in a 20% productivity level? It becomes a habit to operate at 20% level only, because you have been practicing it for yourself so long, because you had a complaint. Can you see my point? So what happens to your potential then? And that is the main cause why it is very much required to be a smart worker. Do you get that? So I started collecting data as to what makes people complain, and surprisingly it many of the things like salary, workplace issue, all that are okay. Those are the right legitimate points, but still what was happening was people were also, there are some non-workplace issues also, which were personality and mindset issues and habitual issues. All those things, habitual issues, all those things affected their productivity, right? So then what did I do? Whatever finding I had, I made them into 10 segments, 10 broad segments. So whatever problem you have, we can categorize them into either life situations, either work decisions, competition, communication, confidence issues, colleagues issues, learning a new skill, embarking on a big vision, managing time, or fear of change. So how to deal with that? So my solution has been resourceful influencing. Everybody, if becomes resourceful, it becomes easy for him or her to influence the senior management, the colleagues, your family, the society, anywhere you are operating. So how it all started for me? Actually, I used to be the star performer but not the boss. I used to complain a lot, but I loved my work. I could handle a variety of tasks in emergency, but I never was trained for those. And then I attended a HR workshop meant for HR professionals, but I was not one HR professional. But I did presented with a HR policy there, and everybody appreciated that because I drafted the HR policy then and there. So that was my first experience of resourcefulness. Then then I went to, as I just said, I went to Rajasthan to enumerate 44 lakh women. I went to Meghalaya where we did a project of under national e-governance, where we established 239 common service centers, and the server was to be connected with the remote area so that people can get all the services that they were supposed to get from the government departments. And then I went to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where I used to track the repayment, because that was part of microfinance. So, and then I went to Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, the fringe villages of Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, where there was an alternative livelihood solution was required. Why? Because people were getting into the core of the forest where tigers were living and people were getting killed. So there was an alternative livelihood solutions to be given there. So I noticed I was not looking to be the boss anymore. I was looking for challenging tasks, because these were huge tasks which gave me a lot of reputation. And out of 10,000 employees, I became one of those recognized employees, very close to the chairman. And our chairman is an international figure. No, it was not a small task, that small recognition that I achieved. So ultimately, it is the task you love rather than the designation. That is what I realized. So people crave about what? Reward, expertise, salary raise, promotion, opportunity, recognition, incentive. But they forget about the leadership growth. The person who is a very unique person, who can achieve lot more and help others to achieve lot more also. That is what leadership is. So, but when you are feeling stuck, you need something more. Ask yourself 3 questions. The first is, how do you see yourself? That is what I call as reality check. How do people perceive you? That is what I call as resilient check. The third is range. How do you want to be remembered? Why do I ask? Because this is what makes your life meaningful, right? So these 3 things along with resourceful influencing, how can you manage all this? So resourcefulness is what resources, what should be the process to achieve this particular task, who you need to become, how you can change your mindset and other things to accommodate people, why this choice, why have you taken this task. So that is what resourcefulness is all about, because you need to have clarity about whatever you are doing. Then influencing is challenge, how to achieve those tasks, who you team up with so that you can achieve this task, and why it is necessary. If you can do both these things together, then actually you can establish a great process for the team to scale up. And when you have resourceful influencing, it wins you recognition and growth. It creates resilience. It overcomes struggles and challenges. It unravels relevance. It propels towards reaching beyond without feeling burnt out. So, and the influence path is, you start with uniqueness, your uniqueness, what are your strengths, then you accept the other person's strength also, because if you are born unique, the other person also is born unique. And benevolence, that is what benevolence is. When you recognize the other person, you are admired. Then with the other person, with the whole team, you can build credibility, that you can achieve lot bigger task. Once you achieve credibility, then growth is obvious, because everybody knows you now. You stand out and you get 3x growth for asking, right? So here are the 3 secrets. One is, first is managing yourself, managing people, and managing time. So the 10 strategies that I propose are, the first is, what is your response pattern when there is a challenge? Then what are your strengths? These are the 2 things you need to ask yourself for vis-a-vis with regard to that particular problem. Then how do you deliver yourself? How to manage people? So see the relationship around and make the most of those relationships. And then how to handle change. Everybody will not accept the change you are making, because that work will require some change, some designation change, some profile change. So how to handle those changes. Then managing challenges. With change there will be some challenges, like people will not agree to it, people will complain, creep, they will not accept whatever you are proposing. How to handle those. Then emotional intelligence is all about how you deal with people. The more tolerant you are, the more leadership capability you have, the more you understand the other person's perspective. And that is what emotional intelligence is all about. It has a lot of components, lot of subcomponents, but you can learn all those and deal with that. Sometimes you just have to duck people's challenges, right? And dealing with ambiguity. What happens is, your boss is saying something, your boss's boss will be saying something else, right? Your juniors will be saying something, your peers will be saying. How to deal with all this ambiguity and convince everybody, bring everybody to the same page. It is a huge quality. If you can do this only, you can become the go-to person for everybody, for your boss, your teammates, your juniors, everybody. Then invest time for yourself. So how do you manage all this? This requires a huge amount of bandwidth, because so many people will be approaching you for these, that, and other things. So practice mindfulness, practice on daily wins. Like say, every day there will be small things happening, but those things are your wins. even if it is you think that it is a failure, still it will be a win because it is giving you some experience. And how to monetize a skill. So if you can give yourself some time, then all these 10 things are possible. These are the 10 things you can practice just like that, because you are already doing a bit of it, right? So how to identify strength? So I give you 4 kind of tests which you can take, which are international tests, and you can find out 5 of your strength. Then what is your leadership type? Each type will have some strength, some weaknesses. So that is 5 of your personality traits, 5 of your strengths, which means some negative strength that becomes altered strength for you. And then you have some skill and some aptitude. So once you have those 17 capabilities, and take each segment, each trait, each topic, and create that many combinations, it becomes 1 lakh stories. So if I give you those keywords, then what you can do is you can actually formulate a story pertaining to whatever has happened in your life, and that you can make a story. Similarly, there will be other combinations also. You sometimes it will feel like, say, when you are starting out, it will feel like these are all very abstract, but you will slowly remember, because so many things that have happened and in a positive manner that you don't even remember. But if you remember, that will show you, that will give you the confidence as to how successful you have been. Actually, you have been unnecessarily blaming on the circumstances and the world and everything, and you will find that actually you have contributed a lot. Now, what makes you think negatively are the attitude, habit, action, perception. Now, attitude is something which defines your personality. Habit is something which strengthens credibility. Because no habit, if you are not in time, that is one of your habit. If you are in time, then that strengthens your capability. Action enhances dependability, and perception creates reality. One glass, half glass full of water, and half glass and empty, both are the same thing, but how you see defines your reality, and that is how you can score on your leadership, right? And characteristic of a resourceful mindset is they are givers. Basically, they give everybody. They can recognize existing opportunity, ongoing difficulty, strength and weaknesses, and follow a proven discipline, right? And action points, the daily wins, those are created are by observing everything that has happened that day. Reflect why those things happened, both success and failure. You might tend to reflect more on the failures that you think those are learnings, and rectify whatever you think was the mistake. And then the next time something comes, if you have documented all this, then you can tweak and create a success. So those are part of the daily wins, and journal them regularly so that you can refer back, and these will be your stories. These are the stories you have missed so far, which you can gain and then can add to your credibility. These will be enormous stories, I tell you. And my backstory is, so far I have trained 18,000 professionals, about 1 crore lives since 2008, as I said. And my values are TIDUS, which is like say positive creativity and become more, and help people become more. Tranquility, inclusion, dignity, abundance, learning, and joyfulness. And so my mission is to impact 1 billion lives with 1 lakh super performing global players in 139 countries. And so the the thing is, like say in a Facebook live, actually I cannot show you the PPT. Now anybody has any questions right now, we can take those questions if anybody is live. So nobody is live. Maybe you will be watching later on. So whenever you will be watching later on, you should put some comments, right? Please put some comments, please ask questions so that I can explain to you as to what we will do. First thing is, for 21 days you have to practice something which I'll give at the end of this session, right? And then what I'll do is, we will have weekly sessions. You will get some clarity, and you can ask me questions, then we can resolve it together. We'll formulate the framework pertaining to your personality. We will have weekly calls twice. So this will be a webinar. If I come to the Facebook group for live, it will be a question answer thing. So you can ask me questions, we can make it more vibrant. Then we can have so these are the basically things, and I have an online course which you can go through, and then you can ask for specific solutions, right? The frameworks you need to practice, those are 90 days framework. And yes, in 90 days time you can be a smart worker, a productive worker, and feel very fulfilled. So that is what. And once you go through those 21 days thing, then we can discuss further as to if you want to come to this training session, the paid session, and get more attention from me, one-to-one hand holding. So that is all today, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you for watching.